welcome to my garden. So today I've got some new bits happening. I've got some things coming back from the dead which I want to show you. Garden cat just appeared. So I've got some things coming back from the dead that I want to show you, and I have one very lovely thing that I am super excited about that I cannot wait one more moment to tell you about. So come a little over this way and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. This over here is my beautiful new tree. That's right, this is the first tree I have ever brought. I thought originally on buying this that it was some kind of orange tree because the picture on the tag looked like an orange. Upon doing some research, Prunus domestica is actually more likely some kind of orange plum tree. But I'm not even mad, I like plums, so excited about that. Here it is in all its glory, my little baby tree. So cute. See, this is the tag. So you can't forgive me from looking at that and thinking, oh, that must be some kind of orange. But apparently it isn't. It is a kind of plum. Although interestingly, in this genus Prunus domestica, it also includes cherry trees. Obviously that's not a cherry, but I didn't know that cherries were related to plums. Apparently this family also includes greengages and damsons, but I think this is probably an orange plum, so yay. So my boyfriend was not as thrilled as I was when I purchased this tree. For those interested, this was £9, well it was £8.99 from Lidl. So if you also are interested in getting a very reasonably priced fruit tree, it's a dwarf tree. It says it'll only get to about 1.5 metres. And they do apples and stuff as well. So yeah, my boyfriend was not as thrilled as I was about buying this tree. He was like, how is that going to fit in my car? And I'm like, it's a baby. It'll go in the footwell. It'll be fine. And he was like, and what do you think you're going to do with it when it's in this pot and it's fully grown and it's windy? How are you going to stop it from blowing over? I don't remember exactly what I said. I think it was something along the lines of, it'll be fine. Because admittedly, I had not thought of that. My thought process at that point was very much still in the, oh, I bought a tree. My very first tree. I was still in the complete, like, loved up new plant kind of stage. I still have not really thought about, what am I going to do when it gets big and it gets windy? How am I going to stop it blowing over? My garden is based on concrete. What am I going to do? I'll figure it out. But right now I don't have to because it's still a baby. So yeah, denial is your friend. So whilst I am being blissfully in denial, we might as well move on and I can show you some of the rest of the stuff I got going on around here. Finally, one of my dahlias is coming back. I did not bother lifting my dahlias over winter and taking them inside like they say you're supposed to. I know people that have had colder winters and their dahlias have come back still. And I've been a bit worried. I've been a bit like, are mine dead? But apparently not, because here is the new growth that proves otherwise. They're coming back from the dead. Hooray! Also coming back from the dead here are these osteospermum stalks. You can just see the new leaves starting there along that stem, which is kind of cool. This one I think is still pretty dead looking, but never mind. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to show you in my garlic bed here that I'm quite excited about. It's me, look. This is my first ever garlic scape. I can't believe it's making these. Finally. I am just so excited about these. And in the middle of this one, I think that might be another one, because you can just see the little pointed top there. Then, oh, yeah, that might be one just here in the middle of this one as well. So it's super excited. This huge one up here is actually a spring onion, believe it or not. It is this monster looking thing just down here. So, I mean, just for perspective on just how tall that is. So you can see the bottom of the bed there. So the spring onions plant is in that little corner, and its flower is like way up the top there. That's crazy, isn't it? So the reason why I am so excited to see garlic scapes on these things is because garlic scapes, once they flower, they produce bulbils, and in some cases, very rarely I hear, but in some cases they do produce true garlic seed. And again, probably none of you have heard of growing garlic from actual seed. In the same way, a lot of people have never heard of growing potatoes from actual seeds. But I love to grow things from seeds. In a lot of cases, it's just easier for me. I've never had a problem growing from seeds. They're a lot easier to store. You just basically dry them and save them until next year, then grow. Whereas with tubers, you have to store them in proper conditions, or they start to rot, or they all shrivel up, or, you know, they just die. They take up a lot of space. I mean, I have quite a small house, really. It's already pretty packed with stuff. I do not have the space to be storing like shelf upon shelf of various tubers for things. The other benefit of seed is that the plants can reproduce sexually, and what that means is that you have the pollen from one plant, and then you have the ovaries in the other plant. You take the pollen of one, you fertilise the other plant, and then you have a cross. And with these crosses that you can make, you can find new varieties, and you can play about with genetics and just mix it up, see what happens. That sort of thing it really appeals to me. I just have this vast curiosity for, well, I wonder what would happen if I crossed this one with that one. I wonder what might happen. What happens if I cross a stripy garlic with a purple garlic? What happens if I cross a white garlic with this garlic? You cannot breed plants through cloning, which when you're growing from tubers, bulbs, corms, rhizomes, potatoes, which are a kind of tuber. When you grow that way, you are basically creating a clone of the original plant. Unless you get some random genetic mutation, you are going to have the same plant every single time. There is no way that will differ unless there is some random genetic mutation. Whereas with sexual reproduction, I'll try and explain this a little more simply. So with sexual reproduction, you take the pollen of one plant, and then you take a slightly different looking plant. You can do it with tomatoes, cucumbers, garlic, whatever the plant is, and you cross it. Then you get a baby which you don't know what the genetics are going to be like. This is your F1 hybrid. And then you can grow up 2 or more of the hybrids, cross those, and then you'll get the F2 generation, which will be a whole mixed bag of genetics. You grow out a ton of those, and then you pick the ones you like best, and you continue to cross those. And over time, the genetics will become more and more stabilised, and you'll keep selecting for the varieties that are just cool. And then eventually you will get a reasonably stable, open pollinated variety of your very own. And you can choose for whatever characteristics you want. You don't need to spend endless hours searching the internet looking for something that just makes your soul sing. You get to decide what qualities it is that you want to breed for, and that is the thing that I love with plant breeding. It makes me really excited. I'm probably just like ranting a little bit here, but I have this insane curiosity about, well, if I cross that one with this one, I wonder what's going to happen. There's just so much possibility. There's so many different ways random genes could combine to make something completely new. It thrills me. There's just so much possibility there, you know what I mean? But I'm going to stop ranting anyway, because I do have other things to show you, and I've been talking for a good 5 minutes on something that a lot of people are maybe not all that interested in. So, moving on. Poor little courgette down here, bug eaten to death. I have no idea if that is going to come back. So many bugs this year, they keep eating everything. Check out this poor little sunflower here. Bloody slugs keep getting on it and chewing it. Keep trying to feed them to my Venus flytrap. Bloody slugs. Then over here, this one is a little better, but you see they've kind of chewed off the top here. I don't know if this can actually come back from that, because it's chewed off the top. I mean, we'll see, I guess, but over here I've got some more that I planted out, which are looking pretty good. No slugs have got to them yet. Got that one there, and this one down here. This is pretty cool. In B&Q, they were selling off plant starts. So I got a 6-pack of this red monarch kale, half price, so 75 pence, which total bargain. So obviously I am very pleased with this, because it's a variety of kale that I haven't started from seed, and I really like kale. So I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to let a couple of them go to seed, save the seeds and see what happens. Obviously it's 75 pence. I don't really need 6 of these, so I've given one to my friend who I went with. So she's growing a kale. I don't know if she's really going to try and eat it, or if she just liked the leaves, but yeah, I donated one to her so that she can try and grow it. So I planted one. These I'm going to let get a little bit bigger, because the roots aren't super developed, so I'm going to let them develop a little bit more before I figure out where the rest of these are going to go. But how cool is that? 6 kale plants for 75 pence. Just so pleased with that bargain. Do any of you guys do that as well? Get super excited? Sometimes you're excited as much with the bargain that you've just got as you are with the thing that you've just bought. It can't just be me that gets that. Salad doing really well now. I need to start picking this now, because it'll get overcrowded if I do not. Again, this one down here, looking very healthy, lush and beautiful. So all the rain we've been having recently has been doing its job. Down here, I got this at B&Q as well. This was full price, but it appears to be a yellow osteospermum daisy, which turns into this kind of pastel-y purple colour. And I saw it and I was just like, oh cool, it changes colour. And how can you not love a colour changing daisy? Is that not the coolest thing though? So we've also got some little peppers growing. This is my sweet banana, so we've got one there, and got this rather curly looking one here, and then we've got another little baby one there, and just at the top here, oh well, we did have a baby pepper, but I've just accidentally pulled that off the plant. I don't know why peppers are so brittle. They always have been for me. Over here we have my Mini Bell chocolate. I cannot see any peppers on this currently. The leaves are starting to curl though. Don't know if you can see that. What that typically means is, or at least according to the YouTube video I watched yesterday, is that it's a sign that this is getting overwatered. As it's outside, there's not really a lot I can do about that at the moment, because every day it's just pouring it down. This is my candy cane pepper. It's an F1 variety. I got my seeds from, it was either Sutton's or Mr. Fothergill's, can't remember which. It's a variegated foliage, so it's got those beautiful marbling to the leaves, which you can kind of see there. You can see it really well on that one. And you get like stripy chilies as well. There's one there. There was a big one just up the top here. You see it just there. You see that cream striping on it. They don't stay stripy though. These do revert, like when they start to ripen, they do ripen fully red, or at least they have done for me. But it's still a really good sweet pepper. It's yummy and it's really pretty while it's growing. I overwintered all of these 3 chilies inside in pots. It's a great thing to do if it gets cold enough to kill them where you are living, and you get chilies a lot earlier than if you had to plant them. So yay for overwintering. Got a few more daisies on this beautiful little osteospermum daisy. Some nice greenery. These, I did initially think that they were the osteospermum seeds that I'd planted, and perhaps some of them are, but they could also be weeds. I'm not quite sure. This one in particular is, I think, a weed. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. But this one, I'm not so sure. I kind of like this red in the middle, but I've also seen it growing in my garden beds where I didn't plant seeds, so I'm not sure what it is, but I might leave it just to find out. This thing though, this is coming back from an osteospermum stalk, so this is in the current process of coming back from the dead, which is always nice. I like it when things come back from the dead. Over here is something that I want to show you. My very first pea flower is out. My very first pea flower. Oh, it makes my heart so happy. You know when a plant's taking ages to grow and you're just like, oh, when am I going to be able to get fruit or vegetables from it? And I have my very first flower. In fact, I have my very second flower and my very third flower. I'll just give you a little closer look. 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, super excited to spy that one. Oh, is that another one there? Oh, I guess 4, I guess. Cool. Got my little teasel down there. That's my kale that I planted. It's my mullein at the back. My little passion flower back there. Got my peas that I planted, are doing very nicely. My golden sweet. I'm sure I planted another one as well, but I can't remember what it was. Another pea, another pea, another pea. You know what the weird thing is? If you did not know that this was food, you would just take one look at this and think I was growing a bed of weeds, wouldn't you? I mean, look at it. This looks like it's just a bed of grass, but it isn't. It's garlic. And at the back, my nasturtiums are doing really well. This, if I can move the netting out of the way, this was a climbing kind. I'd had the seeds for a couple of years, and I was like, yeah, I gotta use them. I'll just stick them in here and see what happens. Didn't think they'd grow, but they're growing really nicely. Got a pea down here in this corner as well. This thing over here, this thing with the thicker tubular leaves is my onion that I rescued from the compost bin. You can see if I move the garlic out of the way, the onion is this thing. It's doing rather well. It won't make another onion. They make bulbs in the first year, and then they put up a flower stalk in the second year and make seeds. So yeah, this will make seeds this year, but to do that it will make it a really pretty flower. So still good. Down here I've got, don't know, oh, another nasturtium down there. My old corn stalk, which I've not bothered to rip out, I've just left it because I was originally going to grow climbers up that. If this is a climbing nasturtium, then I guess I still can grow it all the way up. It's my disappointment of an M&S bee house. And over here you can see my radishes. Obviously some bugs have found them by now, but they're starting to grow. That's obviously going to be a red one. This one back here, it's a red one there, you can see it on the stalk. My carrot that I like to stroke. They do feel so nice to stroke. Fun fact about carrots that I found out recently. Apparently, these things here, carrots, when they flower, they send up a 1.5 metre stalk. I did not know they flowered in quite so tall a fashion. I really did not. So that's going to be interesting. It's supposed to be really pretty. Carrots, they have like this umbellifer type flower. You know, the ones that look like little umbrellas made up of teeny weeny little flowers. We call that umbellifers in the botany world, I guess. So, yeah. I'm not sure I'll be so fond of it when it's like 1.5 metres tall, but I guess we'll see. My carrots are finally coming up. You can see these tall sprouts here are the carrots. There's one there. So, yay, finally. It's felt like forever since I planted these. So very happy that they are starting to grow. Over here we have the tulip seeds. Now, because this is just an old yoghurt pot with no drainage, this has just been filling up with rainwater and I've had to keep emptying it. However, I guess tulip seeds must like being drowned, because I wasn't sure if this was a tulip seed or just a weed that sprouted, because I didn't see the seed attached when they started growing. But these three here, I can see them attached to the actual seed. So I know these are tulip seedlings, which if they grow, 3 years later, they will be actual tulips. And some of you may think that I'm a little crazy for waiting 3 years to grow tulips from seed to get a flower, when I can just buy a bulb and get a flower the same year. But again, like I was saying earlier when I was doing my garlic bed rant about sexual reproduction, when you grow from seed, you can take the pollen of one tulip and you can cross it with another colour of tulip, and then you can take the seeds, you can grow them, and then the genes will be mixed. So you could get a stunning tulip that doesn't exist anywhere else but your own garden. You could have a crazy colour, it might have weird leaves, it could, there are so many different ways it could manifest. And you don't know, it's going to take 3 years to find out, which is a long time, I know, but the day that flowers though, if it happens to be a stunning tulip, then you can then propagate that from bulb and you would have your very own variety. And because it's yours, you can name it whatever the hell you want. I could have Heather's crazy YouTube tulip. I don't know. I tell you what, if I get something crazy, we'll have to have some suggestions in the comments box on what we can call it. We can have a Heather's Weird Garlic. Heather's Weird Garlic, what the hell? Heather's Weird Garden Tulip, and I'll let you guys name it. But we got to wait 3 years for that, so you know, make sure you stay subscribed so that you get notified in 3 years' time. Cornflower is about to pop over here because I think it's going to be one of those blue ones. Not my favourite colour, but never mind. Bees love them anyway. Over here. Now this, there's a story behind this. So I was told by a YouTuber, his name is, oh damn it, I've forgotten what his name is. I want to say Digwell Greenfingers, but that might not be exactly what it is. It's something along those lines. I will put his name on the screen. He told me that you can grow potatoes just from taking off the tiny bit of skin on the potato with the sprout, and that potatoes will grow from that. And I was like, that doesn't sound right, because the way I know is just to take the whole potatoes and plant those. And I was like, surely you can't just take the bit of skin that has the sprout on and grow potatoes from that. And so when I was making dinner, I cut the sprouts off a couple, and instead of putting them in the compost as I would usually, I planted them. And guess what? He was absolutely right. You can indeed grow potatoes from just a sliver of skin with a little sprout on it. In fact, this one's not started. Oh, okay, it's got roots, it's anchored into the soil, but do you see this little sliver of skin here? That's only how big we were talking. Cover that up actually, might start growing if I do. So Diggy, you were totally right about that. I'm sorry I doubted you, mate. I bow to your superior potato wisdom. Actually, for those of you who don't know him already, I will pop his link in the comments box below. He's a wealth of knowledge. He seems happy to share it when I ask him questions. He's a really great guy. He's got a great channel, so go check him out. And over here we have my TPS potatoes. The weird smooth-leaved one doesn't appear to be any more bug-eaten. It's growing some new leaves, which is a good thing. Potatoes, the rest of them, I don't know if they've grown much, to be honest. But they're at least not dying, so that's something, I suppose. Snowball onions looking good there. These are probably only going to grow small because they're quite close together, even though I've spread them out as far as I could. Got my valerian starting to flower here. This is actually a weed. It grows everywhere close to where I work, but I find it so beautiful. So I yanked one of these out of the wall because I figured it'd be much more at home growing in my garden, right? In my mind, I was rescuing it. So yeah, now it's growing quite contentedly in my garden, and I'm going to have this lovely bright scarlet flower, which if I wanted to pull up the plants, I could actually chop up the roots and make a calming, tranquilizing tea, because you can do that with valerian. Now, full disclosure here, I am not a herbalist. I have no kind of qualifications in that area, and if you're using a plant medicinally, the dosage that you get, you never really know. It varies wildly from one plant to the next, and natural medicines can interact with normal ones that you get from your doctor. So if you are going to try and use any plant medicinally, please, for the love of all that is holy, check with your doctor first to make sure it's not going to like cancel out any other medication you may be on. It's not going to harm you in any way, because that's just the smart thing. You know, I care about you guys. I don't want any of you to get hurt because you've been like, oh well, weird, Heather says you can do it. It's like, no, listen to your doctor before you listen to me, okay? That's just smart. I'm just telling you that that's a potential thing you could do. I'm not saying it's wise or anything like that. I've never done it myself. So, but it's interesting to know that you could. Personally, I don't think I could bring myself to uproot such a beautiful plant just to use the roots, but I don't know. Maybe if I got a lot of them. Oh, actually, while I'm here, there's this interesting looking plant in here, and I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued. So maybe one of you can tell me what it is. So this thing, I have absolutely no idea what this is. It's got kind of a very hairy stem, almost prickly but not quite. It's got leaves quite similar to poppies. I'm not sure. Could this be? I did plant or try to plant some oriental poppy seeds in here, you know, the perennial ones. But so they never grew as far as I could tell. But then I saw these and I was like, well, maybe this is what this is. So if any of you know, please tell me in the comments box below. Got another one just over here as well. I'm so intrigued to know what it is. I mean, I'll find out when it flowers, but I want to know now. I'm curious. Chive flowers looking a lot fuller this week, so they'll be about to pop soon. Apparently these have the lovely lilac purple kind of allium flowers, a bit like this but lilac-y purple, so that'd be really pretty to see. Herbs doing well. My beautiful tricolour sage. You know, I don't use this too much, but it is just so beautiful to look at. Got my chocolate mints, my garlic mints. You know, I got garlic on my brain. It's not garlic mint, it's garden mint. Bloody hell, what the hell is garlic mint? That's not even a thing. Got my normal lavender at the back, pink lavender growing up there, rosemary, lemon balm doing rather nicely, onions doing okay. My comfrey tree back there with its beautiful bell-like flowers. Makes a great plant food if you rot down the leaves. Terry King has got a great video on how to make plant food with comfrey on his channel. He has an amazing array of plant foods, all of which he makes himself, and if you take a look at his allotments you will see it very clearly they work. So I would recommend checking out his playlist for how to make all his various plant foods. You can see it's taking over down here as well. This is usually where the cat likes to sit. Either that or he'll sneak along here and sit at that back bit in that bed. He does actually camouflage rather well when he sits in the back of there. Potatoes are doing rather well. They're so lush and green, so beautiful. Little blackcurrant's doing okay too. Can you see the little bird up there? He's obviously come to see if I've put any more bread out for him, bless him. Oh my gosh, there's like 2 of them now. He's sat up there singing. Oh, there he is. I love that my birds are getting brave enough that they will actually come out now and fly and sit in the garden when I'm here. Because they sure do not want to do that when my cat's here. So it's nice that they trust me though. They're like, that's a lady with the bread. Let's go see if she's fed us this morning. So I had better go and feed them because they eat rather a lot and they don't have any food left. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my beautiful new tree. And yeah, sorry for ranting a little bit on the topic of plant breeding, but it is a subject that just fascinates me. So yeah, it was great seeing you all again, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.